Oh, okay, we're on. So, um, I've been spending the past few hours actually on YouTube watching. Oh my gosh, Kurtek, he's not taking the center stage he needs. No, wait, how do I fix this? If I move my pillow over here, so then he's like up. Be like, please. He's not staying up. Why? No. Wait, how do I like? What if I like cushion him like that? There we go. Okay. He's like kind of floating now. It's like kind of badass. Damn. All right. He's good. Anyways, yeah. So I spent a few past hours watching like random YouTube horror videos, and it made me think about like how creative the people behind these videos probably are. So then it got me thinking again, like, about like the creativity of humans. And I remember, so this week I was taking a class in driver's ed, and basically it was just like, well, class is plural, and basically, we were just sitting in class, bored out of our minds, as this guy's going on about like, don't drink and drive, you know. So, everyone in this class is bored out of their minds, right? So I'm looking around the classroom because I do not want to listen to this guy because he's annoying. Oh my god, my instructor was so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. He was probably a good guy. Oh my god. This is not. Oh, okay. I would complain about my instructor, but this is not a hate channel. This is a love channel. So I unfortunately can't complain about things here, but my instructor was a really good guy, but annoying as fuck. But anyways, that's not important. So basically, so I'm zoning out and I'm looking around the classroom and I see all these people in my class, and they certainly are not, and I just know this, like, they're not going home and cooking up masterpieces, you know, on their sketchbooks or whatever. That's just that's not what was happening. But like everyone in the class, like, or at least just most people, were, they had these like notebooks in front of them to take notes and were just doodling. And it wasn't anything like special. They were just on like, stars and plants and shit and flowers and like, and then like there was this one guy who was just drawing like swirlies on like the edges of the paper. But the thing is like I think this is like a key part of humanity, you know? We all love drawing swirlies on the sides of notebooks. We all love drawing stars and flowers and plants and shit all over our notebooks when we're bored. And I think that that's just like a part of us inherently. One of the first things that humans did, like to leave our marks on the world, was like draw little stick figures and little stick animals on like the sides of rocks and stuff in their cave homes. And I think that like, I think that's beautiful that like uh, since the dawn of time, pretty much, since the dawn of humanity, we've always been artistic creatures, and I think that I don't pretend to be a very artistic person. I'm truly not. But I think that you know, everyone should be able and have the opportunity to tap into their creative selves, and I think that that's how you make a good society. And I think that one of the main problems with our societies is that we don't have time to be creative, and we don't have time to, doodle spiralies on notebooks, because like if I look at my parents and they spend their whole day sitting on like, Slack, talking to people they don't like, and then they don't have any friends, and then they're just like depressed and like sad all the time. And then I think about myself, and I'm sitting on YouTube watching horror videos, and I'm not like actually that like, I'm satisfied with my life. I'm not unhappy, but I'm not really happy either. And I think that the main problem is that like there's no incentive for people to like, go out and make stuff. So that's why I wanted to dedicate today's video to art and to making stuff. Because I think that art and people who are artists are some of the coolest people I know. And people who are genuinely creative are always like just really cool to talk to. And I think that a lot of times, like, people will make fun of creative people and artists. And I think that they're just like genuinely, like, I don't know, jealous because they're not nearly as cool, in my opinion. Um, And yeah, I think that we're all artists. And there's this one, like, I think it's a Pablo Picasso quote. And I don't like Pablo Picasso so much. He was a pretty bad dude. But if it is true that he was the one who said this, I happen to agree with him. But he says that, like, everyone, like, all children are artists or something like that. Like, all children are born artists. Something along those lines. I don't know. But I agree, and I think that, like, art is conditioned out of us, by the school system because, like, it doesn't make money. Who cares? I think that, like, there should be opportunities, like, more opportunities for people to express themselves creatively, and there's just not. And, like, all the serious kids at our school, they don't take any art classes, they take, like, calculus and stuff. And, like, that's okay. That's their thing. That's what they're interested in. But they should, everyone should take time out of their day to learn more about like art. My big thing is movies. I really like. I'm a big movie person. I like films. I like short films. It's like a thing for me, and I enjoy taking time out of my day to learn about movies and color theory and other things like that. Um, and yeah, I think that should be more commonplace for people. Um, and art in general, like once you have like an appreciation for art, like it expands your I don't know. It expands your like what's the word I'm trying to say? Your appreciation, I guess, your appreciation for the world, you know? And I don't think that they're like, like you can't be appreciative of the world without like being a big art person. I don't think that's true, but I think that a good part of your understanding and love for the world comes from understanding and love of art because what was it, Kendrick Lamar? My brother keeps sending me Kendrick Lamar edits at one point when he was like 13. And anyways, he would send me like this one like Kendrick Lamar edit, and like one of the lines that he would say all the time is like, um, the earth is just a rock without the voices of art or something like that. I agree, Mr. Lamar. I agree. And um Kurtek would not exist without a Czechoslovakian artist, you know? So what other proof do you need? I think that everything is I think that everything could be seen as an art form, And I think that everything is important somehow. That's all I have to say. Bye.